Hey, everybody. Welcome into this edition of Locked On Astros. It's an off day, but you know what? Locked On Astros isn't off. We want to come in and talk to y'all about the award-winning pitchers in the month of April, the Astros minor league players of the month. Will Tucker play on Wednesday? And how much concern is there for Alex Bregman on this edition? Let's get going. Hey, Yiner, hit that intro.
Yainer Diaz, this is Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
Hey, everybody, and welcome into this edition of Locked On Astros. Look, this episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app today, and you will get $20 off your first purchase using the promo code LOCKEDONMLB. Trust me, I use it. It is a phenomenal app, and I wouldn't go anywhere else to get my tickets to Astros game. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed. Again, I'm Htown Wheelhouse. You know where to find me, Htown Wheelhouse on X, Instagram, and TikTok, Stros411 on X and on Facebook, and also at Back to the Bullpen on YouTube and iHeartRadio on X and on Instagram. You know I'm always positive, always Stros. I'm sitting in the seat solo tonight, and I would like to welcome you all to the off day of the Houston Astros and my new Astros lid here. I got the new, this is a lids. I believe it was a lids hat drop. And I liked it, so I thought it went with my red brick. So I went ahead and threw it on. It has a 50th anniversary patch. Figured y'all would like that. I've got another one I'll sport tomorrow night. And so, you know, the hits keep coming. I may possibly have my own collaboration coming out with an Astros hat. A friend of mine and I are talking about it. So we'll see whenever that comes up. I will definitely let you guys know where you can get that. We all owe Eric an apology and a free car wash for ganging up on him about JV. Well, look, I think the point is this. Eric made some good points last night, and I'll go back to this since pretty much a lot of you guys and girls are return listeners pretty much every night. MC, look, here's the deal. Eric does have a point in that he is Justin Verlander. He is a first ballot Hall of Famer. He does have a Hall of Fame resume, and that's basically the case he was making. The case that I'm making, and sometimes I get up in my feels a little bit, and y'all have seen that. And I'm not one to shy away from admitting when I get a little too ramped up, but I feel like last night I said something that I think a lot of people are thinking. We all love Justin Verlander. We all love what Justin Verlander is, you know, gonna be a Hall of Fame pitcher. We know what he has a potential to do. But where he is right now, he knows he's not midseason form. He's basically in spring training form. And my only contention was if he's going to continue to be the way that he has been and perform the way that he has been performing, then you're going to have to, if you want to maximize your opportunity to win in the postseason, I think this year it's a more important point to say, who do we need to be our starting four pitchers? And one of our starting four, who's going to be our weakest link? Now, if it's going to be Justin Verlander, then I'm sorry, you don't need to start Justin Verlander in game one. No, actually, Eric was tending to an almost family emergency, but thank you, James, for chiming in. But yeah, Eric couldn't be here. He wanted to be here, but he could not. He tried to make it work. But extraordinary circumstances kept him from here. So he said, "What's up?" You know, it is Tuesday. We are on a weird off day. You play on Labor Day, you take off, and then you're back on for Wednesday and Thursday, and then you're back home for a weekend series. And we'll talk about the award-winning pitchers of the month of April. We've got two of them. We have got right here, we got Spencer Arrighetti. That is not the right one. Good Lord. I can't even pull up the right graphic. Spencer Arrighetti for his Rookie of the Month award, 32 1/3 innings pitched, 47 strikeouts. and a 0.168 batting average against, and a 1.95 ERA. Just a phenomenal job by the rookie Spencer Arrighetti. And then you had the Houston Astros also had a relief pitcher of the month. And this was a phenomenal month by Josh Hader. He pitched 13 1/3 innings, a 0.68 ERA, 8 saves, and 17 strikeouts. So this is what you like to see out of your pitchers. You've got the top reliever, you've got the top rookie starter, and Spencer Arrighetti goes on Wednesday night. That's right. So Spencer Arrighetti and then Huunter Brown will be pitching for the Houston Astros. Yes. And I tried to get Mike on tonight, Mike Stanton with me. It was a little early for him, but maybe here soon we can get him back in Locked on Astros, because he breaks down Spencer Arrighetti like nobody's business. On our most recent episode, I would say go check out Back to the Bullpen, the other podcasts I do, and Mike Stanton. I mean, he's got 19 years in the majors. That's hard to replicate that kind of knowledge. And as much as I like to think I know about the Astros or know about pitching or know about this or that, I definitely don't have the knowledge he has. What do I think about Blanco going to the bullpen news today? Look, I think it was inevitable, and I think for Blanco, I don't think it's a demotion. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think Blanco going to the bullpen is more or less a reaction to he seems to be really slowing down. If y'all recall, I don't think I'm not going to compare him to Wade Miley, but if y'all remember the Wade Miley drop off that happened, or we've seen other pitchers in the past, we saw Huunter Brown do it last year. So what I think they're trying to avoid is Ronel Blanco having fuel in the tank when they get to the playoffs, because I would rather have a functional Ronel Blanco than a Ronel Blanco who is like just gassed and worn out, because he is really one of these unsung heroes. And I love what my friend Mark said. He was talking with Jeremy Brennan in a thread on X. He said Ronel Blanco was the unsung hero of the season. When all the pitchers were hurt or they weren't well, he was there. For that reason alone, he deserved to be starting pitcher number 5. If Ronel is battling fatigue, then you fashion a program around his schedule to accommodate hitting the ground running in October, no question. So Ronel Blanco, I think, is absolutely 100% going to have a good role in the bullpen. I don't have a problem with it. You have to put these guys in a place to succeed and to continue to succeed as they go through the rest of the season. And remember what Luis Garcia did in the bullpen. Remember what Huunter Brown did in the bullpen. The bottom line is this: you absolutely have to have your top guns ready to throw. And if they're too gassed, if they can't go now, if their velocity is dipping now, then what is it going to be late in October? And if you are lucky enough to get to the end of October into November for the World Series, then what are you doing? So I love that you fashion the program around making sure that he gets there correctly. Yeah, definitely. Chico saying Blanco out of the pen for sure. Yeah. I mean, Garcia David was a killer in that bullpen in 2022. And as much crap as we gave Dusty Baker, he deployed that bullpen and performed a masterclass, I think, and managed a bullpen, which he had been known for the exact opposite when he was earlier off in his career. Powered by Plant says, put me in, coach. Hey, you know what? If you've got a cannon and you can throw strikes and you can fill up the zone and miss bats, I'm pretty sure the Astros would be willing to talk to you. So with that being said, let me share with y'all some messages from eBay Motors, and we'll get back to it, and we'll talk about the Astros minor league players of the month. Passion, drive, and patience, the formula for winning championships, is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Millions of parts for your MVP win every time with parts that fit your ride. From superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. With eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit, available only to U.S. customers. Hey there, thank you for tuning in to Locked On Astros. Make sure you make us your first listen every day. Make sure you go check out Paul Francis Sullivan. Please call him Sully at Locked On MLB. He's got you covered on all the stories, the big stories in Major League Baseball. I don't know if you've seen it, but freaking Shohei Ohtani's going for 50-50, 50 home runs, 50 stolen bases. It is insane what this guy is doing at the plate. You just hope that someone like Ohtani and the Dodgers, you don't run into them if you're able to make it to the Fall Classic. And I saw someone put a percentage up here. We have a 23.7% chance of getting a bye week according to Fangraphs. And, look, I was talking to Mike Stanton about that. And look, I'm gonna default to this guy's opinion over mine a lot of times, although I have my own thoughts. He said it's not always the best thing to get that. Yes, this club could use the rest, but maybe sometimes just going in there and staying in the grind and staying in the routine may be better. I think it could benefit this team with the rest that they need. But we'll get back to that in the end. I want to talk about the different minor league players of the month. Let's check this out. The upper level minor league player of the month, which is AA and AAA, Cesar Salazar, who just got the call up on the expanded roster, 28-man, 263, 733 OPS and 10 RBI. The lower level player of the month was Kenny Gomez, hitting 348, 864 with 10 RBI. Not a bad deal. You love to see that. And then your upper level pitcher of the month, Jose Fleury, who has been pitching some amazing baseball, 22 innings pitched, 2.86 ERA, 30 Ks. And the lower level pitcher of the month is Nick Swanson. I've been hearing a lot about him. Nick has really come on strong, 21 and 1/3 innings pitched, a 2.95 ERA with 30 strikeouts. Now, I do want to get to this question. Someone just asked me. So MC says, so who are the 5 starters in your opinion with Blanco gone? Well, I think that's pretty easy. Now, I would say 4 starters. Now, you're going to have 4 starters in most series, maybe a 7-game series, a World Series, something like that. You will have 5. And this is really how I would order it right now. Now, this could change because we are, September 3rd? You might be listening to us on September 4th on Wednesday, because technically this is Wednesday's show. Right now, I'm going Huunter Brown as SP1. I'm going Framber Valdez as 2. I'm going Justin Verlander 3. I'm keeping Justin Verlander in there. And actually, you know what? Yes, we're just going to keep Justin Verlander there and Kikuchi, and then I've got Arrighetti if you have 5. Now, the only one I would flip-flop out of there is Arrighetti for Verlander. The only problem I have with that is Arrighetti has 0 playoff experience. And I know your counter, because you're smart, you know what Justin Verlander's done in the playoffs historically. He hasn't been great. He's been better in the early series rather than in the later series. He hasn't been great in the World Series, but he's been good earlier on. He's had some decent outings. Kikuchi, has he pitched in the playoffs before? I believe he was with the Blue Jays when they were with the playoffs against the when they played Seattle. Now, if I go to it and do a quick search real quick, if I look at Baseball Reference, I don't know how many playoff games he has played in, and that's actually a good point. I don't think he's. Let me just look real quick what his postseason history is. I believe he has played in the postseason. I may be wrong. Let's see. Well, because he was with Toronto for 3 years, maybe he didn't pitch in the postseason. I'm not seeing any. Let me look at his logs, his splits. So what we're trying to figure out postseason. Yes, here we go. His postseason record is okay. He's pitched one postseason game. That was, oh wow, wild card, Toronto at Minnesota. For 1.2 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run. That's literally it. Okay, well, I thought Kikuchi had more playoff experience. For some reason, I was thinking he had because he was with Seattle. Of course, they recently made the playoffs and he wasn't with them. And I thought with Toronto, he had done that. So maybe that knocks Kikuchi out, but he's been pitching so well. Arrighetti's pitching so well. Again, guys, this is September 2nd, September 3rd, September 4th. Things could change. And my stuff on Verlander, he may come out of it. He may go into October, just be throwing bullets and maybe missing bats and not giving up home runs, and he solidifies that spot. But baseball isn't, it is a pecking order thing. It is a respect thing. It is a veteran thing. It's going to take a lot for them to do the things that I said I want them to do, is not put him in the top 4. But more than likely, Justin Verlander is going to be in the top 4. If you're paying him to be a starter, an ace, a 1 or 2 guy, you're not going to not put him in there. And Eric was right in that aspect. That's what they are probably going to do. Now, if we get to the end and he doesn't go, someone had said maybe in the comments, or maybe David, I don't know if it was you, I don't know who it was, but it was actually kind of a salient point in that Justin Verlander maybe quote unquote gets injured again and goes on the IL and then never pitches in an Astros uniform again. I don't know that they do that, because that would be almost like faking an injury, and the league's clamped down on phantom injuries. I don't think they'll do that. Verlander walks the bases loaded, for heaven's sakes. Well, I'm going to use the other word there, buddy. So is Sword the manager or Verlander? Who are you talking about, Emilio? I'm not sure who you're talking about. Hunter was thrown into the playoffs a couple years ago. Remember, he was a relief pitcher. He was a starter, then he went to a reliever. And yes, he was thrown in there, but he was on a roll. I think Spencer Arrighetti goes in and dominates. I think Ronel Blanco could go in there and dominate if he gets the rest he needs. And so at the end of the day, you have a lot of players that you have lined up for the very reason of going, okay, who are we going to go with? At least, that's right. I love this. MC, great pickup here. At least JV is self-aware to admit he's in preseason mode. When interviewed, he shows character. Now, I wonder if MC is Michael Connor. I wonder if Michael Connor's watching tonight. Michael Connor, is that you? I'm starting to think you got some very keen insights there. You sound a little Michael Connor-ish. If not, that's a compliment, because Michael Connor is a part of the Locked On Astros postcast. So if you don't get enough Astros podcast, there's also an Astros postcast, and you can catch him pretty much every day of the week. And also whenever the negatives are okay, well, you sound a little bit like him, and you had the same initials. But Michael Connor will be doing podcasts for the Texans, for the Rockets, for the Cougars, so on and so forth. But we do appreciate everybody coming in. Before we get to the commercial, thank you, Real Purple and Gold Minnesota Vikings, Chico, MC, Real YouTube Hustlers. I love that. Powered by plants. I guess you're a vegan. David. Let's see who else. Jesse, James Wall. We talked about Chico, Joseph, Godson, Astro Wolf, Craig, Killer Cam. We got the regulars, the OGs. We got RO Kits 27. Sending the shout out to y'all. Jose Ramon. I believe Mama Wheelhouse is here somewhere. I haven't seen her comment lately. Albert is here. Daniel is here. Chris Reyes, as always. so many of y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. And let's talk about Bregman. Let's talk about Tucker after we hear a word from our sponsors. PrizePicks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. Yours truly is a part of that, and I can tell you that is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps on PrizePicks, it's just you against the numbers. All you do is pick more or less in 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Now, I can tell you this, one Caleb Williams passing yard gets you 1 win in PrizePicks every week in September. That's right. Only 1 yard gets you an automatic win every football weekend in September. 4 weeks of free W's. Don't miss that deal because it's gone after September. You can now win 100 times your money with PrizePicks with as little as 4 correct picks. Player stat projections and selecting them is so easy. So download the PrizePicks app today and use the code LOCKEDONMLB and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That code LOCKEDONMLB on PrizePicks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks, run your game. Check out Game Time today. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to your favorite live events even easier. You've heard me talk about Game Time. Download the Game Time app today. Use the promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Basically, you use the app to customize your spot. Everything you want, the super deal, the seat views, the lowest price guaranteed, event cancellation protection, job loss protection, and so much more. It is truly the lowest price guaranteed. You can check it out. Test my word. Go into it and purchase you a great ticket. And if you find a ticket in the same row in the same section at a cheaper price, they'll credit you 110% the difference. So download the Game Time app today. Create an account and use the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. That's Locked On MLB, LOCKED on MLB for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game time. That's right. If you're ever worried about the Houston Astros, just know at least we're not the Chicago White Sox. Literally, these guys, they have 22 games left, and they have to win 11 of their next 22 games to avoid setting the single season most loss record by the 1962 Mets with 120 losses. Wow. What a tough time to be a White Sox fan. Now, look, as we get going here on this final segment of tonight's show, the fans will be scoreboard watching because if the Oakland A's can pull off another victory against the Mariners, the Astros will gain another half game, and they'll be 6.5 up on Seattle. With a win tomorrow with Spencer Arrighetti on the mound, they would be 7 games up on Seattle, and the lead would keep growing. That's really good. We need that. So here's the deal. Kyle Tucker, and I don't know if y'all saw this. I think we talked about it a little bit last night, but Kyle Tucker was running about 85% yesterday around the bases. He still looked, I don't know if y'all saw the video that Chandler Rome posted, but you could tell after running hard for a length of time that it looked like Kyle Tucker was running a little bit gingerly towards the end. When I sit here and watch him sprint, number one, it looks like he hasn't ran a lot lately for obvious reasons, but he just looks a little gassed. What I love about Kyle Tucker is Kyle Tucker absolutely 100% has been working his tail end off, and you can bet that this guy coming back without a rehab stint, I think it is going to be a really solid moment in his career. I think we're going to see Kyle Tucker come back and be surprisingly effective, and that might add to his legacy. That might, look, if Kyle Tucker comes back and he goes gangbusters and he's balls to the wall out there, hitting stuff out of the park, catching fly balls, stealing bases, and he's able to do that when he's 100% healthy, that just makes him all the more reason why the Astros need to empty their pocketbooks, empty the dump truck into his driveway, and pay this guy. We've got Verlander coming off the books. I don't know that he comes back. We've got several people coming off the books. Bregman probably not coming back. Kyle Tucker is that guy. Well, look, here's the thing. And I keep going back to this, but you would do the same thing too. Mike Stanton said he doesn't believe that they would bring Kyle Tucker back. And I said this last night on the show, unless he can play both the field and bat. There's no point of bringing him back if he's not 100% just to swing the bat and get on base and possibly get hurt. If he's going to be 100%, Tucker is probably going to play right field. Now, they may slow walk him into it and DH him at first, but don't look at him to play DH for a significant amount of time because I think they want him out in right field. So that's the update there. Now, I said, how much concern is it of Bregman? Not because I have an update on Alex Bregman, but from what I understand, Alex Bregman continues to get fluid drained out of his elbow, and really has made a choice, I'm assuming, to wait to get surgery afterwards. Now, I've heard this from a couple different places, and I really think that Alex Bregman is doing this because he wants to contribute to the team. He probably needs some sort of surgery to have that stuff removed. And I don't have a confirmed medical report on that. Okay. I'm just telling you what's being said, what's being talked about, sort of a rumor mill kind of thing, because it's nothing definitive. But that's been my speculation all along on Alex Bregman, is he's got to have bone chips in that elbow if it keeps swelling up. And I'm wondering if it happened on a slide when he slid against the wall in Boston. That would be really, that would explain a lot of things to me. You remember when he said he slept wrong on his elbow? Well, if you've got bone chips and if you got bone chips in your elbow, they're just moving around and you sleep on it wrong, that would absolutely cause swelling. I'm not a doctor and I know that, but here's the deal. If we have gotten this far, you know what? Look at this. MC is thinking my thoughts. We got this far without Tuck. We can wait until he's 100%. Exactly. I was just going to say, if we've gotten this far without Kyle Tucker being 100%, then the Astros don't have to rush him back. There's no need to rush him back. Same thing with Alex Bregman. I don't think you have to rush Alex Bregman back. But the Astros, they cannot do what they did in game one. Now, they are going up against Nick Martinez. Do you remember who Nick Martinez is? Do you know this guy? This guy, Nick Martinez, he's with the Reds. He was actually with the Rangers from 14 to 22. He's 33 and 44. This year, he has a 1.13 whip, 86 strikeouts, 11 games started. He's 6-6. This right-hander, 34, does actually pretty well on the mound. And so you definitely want to make sure that you're on your stuff, on your game with Nick Martinez and the Cincinnati Reds. The tough thing is the Astros are 0-7 versus the Reds since 2016. That's crazy. I think someone last night in the comments mentioned something about us not having a win against them. And so you have to go into the game. Bregman, if he's healthy, you need to play him. If you're healthy-ish, maybe DH him. Kyle Tucker, don't bring him back unless he's 100%. I agree with that. And go out there and win a ball game. You got Spencer Arrighetti, who's absolutely killing it. Again, I'll just recap this before we close out. Spencer Arrighetti, Rookie of the Month, 32.1 innings pitched, 47 strikeouts, a 168 batting average against, and 1.95 ERA. Guys, girls, ladies and gentlemen, this team has got more in the tank. They've overcome hurdles. They've overcome obstacles. Remember when I said in 2023 that if the Astros win the World Series, it'll be the most enjoyed, the most appreciated World Series in their history? Well, I think this year it's times 10, because of all the adversity and all the different things that this team has gone through, that you and I have watched this team go through the ups and the downs. The one group of people that didn't panic is the most important group in this equation. And yes, we're important because we're fans, but the most important part are the guys that go on the field, or the guys that put the team together. And they're the ones that always believe, that have never lost their focus, that have never panicked. And if they have faith in themselves, I've got faith in them. And I can see this team making a really long playoff run, and they have a real shot at winning the World Series. I'm not saying they're going to win it. I'm not saying it's guaranteed. But that's right. Susan says they exemplify next man up. That is in their character. That is who they are. Jesse says, what a roller coaster. And so, oh, look at that. Oh, okay. Y'all are discussing JV, back of the baseball card talk. Yeah, we're not going there. I'm not going back of the baseball card talk with JV, but I'm telling you, there's no other team that has a history like the Astros. Oh, and Michael K from the Yes Network, the last 2 weeks, has been talking about his fear for who? The Houston Astros. Well, hey, guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in. This has been a great show. You guys and girls make it the best. Y'all are amazing. Y'all are MVPs. And we love that you make us your first listen every single day. I'm Htown Wheelhouse. I love you guys. We're family. Thank y'all so much for showing up. Y'all have a great day at work. Have fun. Get home safe. Get to work safe. Go home, sit down, have dinner with your family. You know what? Get around the TV before the game and rewatch this episode. You thought I was going to say watch the game. Didn't go watch the game. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. For myself, Eric, he'll be back tomorrow. And everybody here at Locked On Astros, remember, we're your team every single day. Go beat the Reds. Let's go. It's spaghetti time.